welcome to the next episode of Miami Market Sense Making. My name's Jake Fletcher, real estate agent at RE/MAX here in Miami, Florida. And today we're talking about something a little bit different. We're taking a little bit of a macroscopic view at the market here in Florida and Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach as far as single family homes and condos. And we're taking a look at the house price index. The reason that we're doing this, we've all seen the articles, the headlines, the videos, with the sensational taglines and headlines about a recession coming and the bubble is going to burst, the global financial collapse. It's just like 2008. And slow down just a little bit, because although there are some worrying signs, we have to balance it out and look at all of the metrics in the real estate market, specifically because I'm a realtor, not a financial analyst or a credit analyst, so that's my specialty. I am a real estate expert, so that's what I'm qualified to talk about. We're going to be talking about that real estate market. But before we do, go ahead and follow me at Jake Realtor on Instagram, and you can find me everywhere else from there. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button, smash the like button if you have not already, and I really appreciate that. And so does the algorithm genie. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So Miami, where I'm from, is what I call an indicator city. It is one of the cities, metropolitan cities, that indicates where the financial markets are. Okay, the second largest financial district in the country is here in Brickell, which is just south of our downtown area. So very, very important financial place here in Miami, also a very important international city. So there's a lot at play here in the markets as far as the global financial system. Okay, now we're going to talk about Florida separately from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm. So looking at the house price index, what we see is, and I'll bring it up on the screen here for you guys, and what we see is, boom, going up like crazy right before that financial collapse last time, right? Right about the end of 2006, beginning of 2007, things kind of leveled off from going straight up, and then just like a roller coaster ride went and then tanked, right? What we've seen since then is more of a gradual incline, okay? It's been a little bit of give and take, going up and up and up still, but less of a roller coaster ride going straight up and getting to the peak and then going straight down. So anyone who looks at graphs and market trends and stocks and any markets like that and looks at data knows that we often see pairs. We see these lines moving in kind of not symmetrical, but very similar patterns, okay? So when it's going up, we might see a similar pattern going down, right? This is due to a lot of factors, but also a big factor is psychology, okay? And we are all kind of human beings are kind of all connected in a lot of ways, mentally, and the things that we read, the things that we ingest, as far as the news and all that stuff. So, and that could be a whole video in and of itself. But suffice it to say, we are all connected. So when when we see one metric starting to go down, we see other things going down, everybody is thinking, oh, we're going in one direction, so all the people who are going to panic sell start to panic sell, and that causes a mass fire sale off, and more people follow suit. Okay, now important thing to keep in mind is that most fortunes are created during recessions. Okay, most people that make a ton of money, that go from making, whatever they were making before, a decent amount, to making a whole lot more and building a lot more wealth, do so during recessions. That's when power players really get in the game, if they weren't already. And in order to do that, you have to have your war chest built up. So if you're not already saving cash and getting ready to jump on investments as soon as we start to see a measurable correction, then you need to start building up that war chest. Are we going to see a correction? Well, I don't think it's going to be such a, like we were saying, roller coaster ride up and straight down. I think we're going to see that mirrored action where we kind of a little more gradually going up, and then we're going to see a little bit more of a slow and low burn down And when is this going to happen? I don't have a crystal ball, but if I had to guess, seeing as how we're already in October and we're starting to see things, I've personally as a realtor started to see things over the last year starting to correct a little more and a little more. I think that things are really going to pick up in that corrective trajectory in 2020. Could take until 2021, but I am expecting 2020. Now, the U.S. government has been putting a lot of, funny money, a lot of fake money into the markets, trying to hold off from this thing for a while. And I think that there's only so long you can put a Band-Aid on a gushing open wound, which is the fact that our economy could be doing a lot better. There's a lot of things at play. There's big major companies starting to, downsize their workforces. There are, and layoffs going on. There's, the student loan, bubble, as some people say. There's a lot of things in the housing market that are kind of similar to what was happening in, 2006, 2005, 2006, 2007. And although we are seeing some things that are similar, there are some corrective measures that were put into place that are kind of staving off that bubble collapse, which is why I personally don't think it's going to be a bubble pop like it was. I think it's going to be more of a slow and low burn. Now, what we see in the Florida market is that we see a little more of a steady increase, but when we look at the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm markets, and remember, Miami is an indicator city, we see a little more of an increase, a little bit more of a drastic, upward trajectory in those metrics, okay? And that's the sales index. When we look at the percentage change, the price index, which is a percentage of change in the index year over year, we see that it's already been kind of on this corrective downward slope, which is why we've seen things, especially over the last year or two, starting to really correct in price. There's still a good amount of inventory out there, and there are still a lot of buyers. There's still a lot of business happening. There's closings happening every day, and there's businesses continuing. But as interest rates have the Fed has been cutting them, and they've been going down and down and down and down, we haven't really seen like a crazy uptick in new homes being purchased and new home buyers purchasing homes. Last month, there was a jump in new home starts, which was, I think it was around 9%. And that's great, but it's not something that's been sustained month over month over month. And there's actually been, some months have been a decline. So we get a little bit of give and take, which again goes back to that dialogue, that narrative of that this is going to be a slow and low burn. This isn't going to be, in my opinion, a big bubble pop, which hopefully is good. Hopefully that means less people are going to, get laid off, less people are going to have their lives upended and less of a crazy time. But I do think we are heading for a global financial slowdown. There are a lot of signs, a lot of writing on the wall, which again, as a real estate professional, I'm not going to sit here and tell you about all the markets across the board because I'm not an economist, but I can definitely speak to the market here in Miami and Florida at large. And what we are seeing is kind of, I don't want to say an unsubstantiated rise in that price index, but it's been a pretty significant rise in that price index. And that's going to generally be countered and mirrored with a correction, right? You can't just always go up and up and up forever. And what we're seeing is that things are already kind of starting to correct back down. Even these numbers are not even including 2019 because 2019 isn't finished yet, but they have continued on this trend. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Leave me a comment about what you thought about this video, where you think we're going with the markets, when do you think the correction will happen. So that's about it for this video. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, and keep on this journey with me bi-weekly, bringing you these Miami market updates. And I'm going to start doing other types of videos too about real estate and just life in general, anything that pops into my head that I want to do a video about, because this is my YouTube channel. And make sure you guys follow and subscribe on the Instagram and the YouTube respectively. I'm also on all the other Facebook and yada yada. So check me out there. And I will see you guys next time. Sell smart, buy bold. Signing off. Peace.